Hey guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Yep, it's your baby girl, Abisola, yes. Until we decide what was called her, so let me just say I'm Abisola. First, I would like to apologize. There might be a lot of background noises, but there's nothing I can do about it because this is the only time I can shoot this video, and if I don't do it now, I don't procrastinate. You know that we decided to be committed to each other, so just listen and just make my voice the only voice should be that should be sounding to you, or you should be hearing that kind of thing. That's not my English. Any other voice, please just ignore, because I really can't do so much about the background noise. Yes, moving on. Thank you so much for the love on my last video. You guys just keep giving me back to back. Thank you so much. There's been a lot of engagement and a lot of interaction, and I like it. That's how I know that you people are truly family members. You can't say call ourselves family members and we're not interacting. So please, when you watch the videos, that's the only way I can know that you're enjoying it. Put down a comment. I will interact with your comment. Either I'm liking it or I'm even replying. Most of the comments from the last video, I replied most of them, if not all of them. I want to interact with you because you're my family. Yeah. Yes, so if you're new here, welcome. This is a place of love, and this is your baby Abisola. Talk about relationship, lifestyle. Now we'll be adding marriage, and every other good stuff, that kind. And like I said, you'll still be seeing Abisola Adeosun there. We've not decided on the name. I've not still seen. You guys have not dropped enough ideas. Let's know. Drop more ideas. Let's know what you want us to be called. Yeah. So moving on again. It's moving on, my new word. So yeah. Next thing I would like to talk about is that I want to remind you, babe, this week is my birthday, July 21st. Hey, ọlọ́jọ́ ìbí máa jòwè, Abisola máa jòwè. It's our birthday. It's all about as a birthday, July 21st. That's Thursday this week. Your baby girl is gonna be what? 27. I remember that I shared the video of my 26th birthday with you guys. I think I'll put the link down here so you can also see where we're coming from, a bit of berry, a bit of today, and all of this stuff. And on Friday, I think I was on my way to the video and I was asking God, I know I've always been saying this is what I want for this birthday. This time around, God, what do you want from me? I asked that question. When God answered, I said I wanted to talk about a very vulnerable part of me that I never shared with the world. I think only people very, very, very close to me know this. And it was like because I wasn't sure I was ready to discuss this or talk about it. But who am I? Who's me? If God is saying do this, who am I to do this? I'm very sure there's somebody out there that needs to hear this. And so I'll move right into it. So today I'll be as vulnerable as I can be. I'm here to encourage somebody's people, family, with this, because I know it's meant to encourage somebody. And this video might be long, might not be long. However the flow comes, please take it like that. Yeah, so I'll start with this. I'll say that for every individual, I know a lot of people don't believe in that evil can happen to someone and so, but I'll tell you that when the devil sees that God has given you an assignment, because God has given every one of us an assignment, it can go to any extent to truncate that assignment and make sure it doesn't come to fulfillment, even to the extent of death. If he needs to kill you and eliminate you, I'm putting that out. The devil can go to any extent to come to truncate that assignment God has given to you so you don't get fulfilled. Then two, the devil has no right to kill you. He can never kill you. God did not give him that right. He can only suggest and put you in positions that can cause death. He himself has no right, has no power to kill you. He can only put you in a position, in a situation that can cause one's death. Now, you understand why I mentioned these two things as I continue. So let's start this way. So in 2014, I got admission. No, I actually got the admission in 2013 because I finished secondary school in 2012. So 2012, I went to P degree OAU. I finished in 2013, but there was this long ASU strike of 6 months. So I'd gotten admission then to resume 100 level. So it didn't happen that year because that's 6 months strike all over all federal schools in Nigeria. When I say OAU, I mean Obafemi Awolowo University. So I was supposed to resume ASU when strike was called up, and everybody was supposed to resume in January of 2014. However, Nuga Games happened in OAU that year, so we had to still wait. We resumed, if I'm correct, June 1st, 2014. And then everybody was excited. Imagine, I finished P degree since 2013 July, and I stayed attempt in June the next year. 11 months doing nothing because of all this Nigeria X and all of those. I wish that was the only strike and we went on, but the rest is history. We have graduated and we have served our fatherland, and here we are. Okay, so we resumed in June, and then we're in school. So that was the time that OAU school fees used to be quite cheap, but they increased the school fees. Not like it was a big money. We used to pay like, I think for faculty of all these arts related faculties, we were paying like 7,500 for their school fees, and normal hostel fee of stay like 2,000 something, and if you're a fresher 3,000 something. So school fees was like you can send yourself to school individual, like in a year you're spending maybe like worst case scenario like 11,000, and for tech students it was like I think 9,500, and it was very very cheap. And they now increased this from the one of 7,500. I think they increased it to like they were now paying 20 something thousand, and we were paying 28,000. So it's not like the increase was not, but it was still much because the Shami that they just started doing Aluta. I remember then the SUG president was Ibikunle, and we were just coming as freshers, and I said we must do Aluta. How will we pay this school fees? It's expensive. Because the school fees I just mentioned that is for still like that is those already in school. So it affected with freshers too, but we didn't feel it. I think I paid all the money I paid to enter school. Accommodation, everything was like 90 some stars. It didn't even reach 100,000. Accommodation, acceptance, school fees, everything. You know, reach 100,000 for a tech student. And those in art paid like 70 something thousand. The medical said maybe like 100 and something. It was for everything, full package. That being said, so the Alusa started. That day I remember I was in Mozambique calling OAU. Yay! Our OAU. Great Tifa, great Tifa, yeah. Great. Articulate. Oh, yeah, sorry. I don't have our beefiness. But let me continue my story, yeah? So the Sha came to our hostel that they dragged all of us out for everything. So during that June when we resumed, we had a family, because my mom is from Osun State. So most of our family members were in Osun State, Ife, precisely. So she came for a wedding of one of our our brother's daughter was doing wedding, and I was part of the bridesmaid too, and all my cousins. So when she came, when the whole this thing Aluta, they did all the Aluta, I think that was June 9th. Imagine, I was just resumed school June 1, June 9th, something like. So I went to my auntie's place in Ife. I was there. So when mommy came for the wedding, she just saw me, and then I was on low cost when I resumed. I used to be like a tomboy. I used to be on Antabeka. So I was on low cost. So mom just looked at me and she was like, I just left her a month before I left home, ending of May, and she's seeing me in middle of June, and she was looking at me. She felt like I was lean, but like maybe it's the stress of just being in school, the struggles and everything. Mommy kept saying it's like, no, this is not usually. My uncle was like, my auntie was like, leave her. You too, when you were still young, we knew you were slim. Like my mom was like, she knows, but mommy kept saying like for like the next 2-3 days, she kept saying that she felt like something was wrong. My mom was like, no, it's normal. God's so good. I said, will I say God's so good? Coincidentally, I was having a burn in my chest. I'll feel like I want to cough. When I cough, it feels like something wanted to come out, but nothing ever comes out. And my auntie sells app, so she gave me, they used to call one agbo iletutu. I don't know the English. Agbo cold ground. That's the interpretation, but I don't know the English name. That when you take it, if you have anything inside, it's that you vomit it or you pull it, that kind of thing. I took it, I vomited, and I was still feeling that sensation and all those stuff. In between was when my mom was saying, you look clean, you look clean, you look clean. So then after the wedding, mommy was supposed to go home. So me, I wanted to stay in Ife that this track was so end. Mom said, it's not gonna happen. You're gonna follow me to Lagos. After dragging, I flew that to Lagos. Mom got to Lagos. Mom said we are going to the hospital. That I had to go and explain what is wrong with me to the doctor. And that she just feels that this lane is not normal. I just felt that my mommy's zone was too much. But God bless mothers. I got to my family hospital. And when I got there, doctor, I told him what I was feeling like. He was like, okay, I should go and do an X-ray. So I went to do an X-ray. I had to go and do X-ray. So when we they said I had to come back for the results. So I went alone to get the results. Mom was like, when I get the results, I should just take a bike from there to the hospital. So she will come and meet me in the hospital when I get there. So when they gave me the results, so the thing is, they gave the scan, the whole diagram, whatever they call the scan thing, and they wrote a sheet. So the sheet, I didn't understand it. The only thing I could see from the diagram was that there were 2 lungs. Yes, we have 2 lungs now. 2 lungs. One was looking very small, chopped off. Then one was looking okay. Then I now read, and I saw that they wrote something like pulmonary English. Pulmonary pulmonary something. I can't remember the name again. I didn't want to remember. So I was wondering. Then seeing the picture, I was already suspecting something. So and they now wrote there that they are suspecting. No, they just wrote preliminary something. So when I took to my doctor, the next thing I took it to him. My mommy took him to the hospital. As we just went to see my doctor was like, we should calm down. We should calm my mom down because this my mom just said that he's suspecting that I have tuberculosis. Nibo, how? What? None of my family members, mommy family, my father's family. How? We're not exposed, we're almost get inside. Where did I go to? I don't really jump buses. It's even when I go to school, I said, I'm with my father's car. Like how? Mommy was just there crying. Hey! You would think that they told her that somebody died. She started crying. So I was already feeling bad. I was just, how old was I then? I think that was 2014 and I'll be 27 this year. That's let's say, 2014 is 8 years ago. So I was 19 apparently. Well, I was just going to be 19. I was 18. So I was going to be 19 in July that year. So mom started crying. So I was already feeling like, God, this is the end of life. Because what I've heard about tuberculosis does not have cure. I felt like, what I knew there was that it does not have cure. You will cut blood. You will be this. I was scared. So Isha wrote that it's not something that there's a specialist hospital in Yaba. It's called the Yaba mainland. That what they treat there especially is tuberculosis, HIV. It was the place and Ebola then. It wasn't for Ebola. The middle of it was for Ebola. It was where they later used first for the COVID too. Then when COVID started, but Ebola patients too. Ebola was for special illness. We went there. We went there the next day. Mommy used to drag things. We went there the next day. As we got there, that they said doctors were on strike. And my family doctor said that it was something urgent, something we needed to do on time. Said doctors were on strike. My mother, she used to hear those kind of things. She said, God is going to do it. Mom started walking. I just sat down. And when you enter, you have to tie an handkerchief on your nose. So mommy tied, because that place, most people, you even see, I saw a lot of people. You see them lean. You see their feet very swollen. You know that this person, you can tell that this person was fat, but the person, something's wrong with the person. So the leg will be swollen. They will not be thin. It's one of the things that you used to know people that have TB. They will be very thin. Not necessarily everybody that is like that, but you can see that they are fit. You can tell that this person used to be fat. So that's one of the things that was making me lean, like thin, like that kind of thing. So I saw one man, I felt like, God, this is going to be my fate. Mommy started walking around, asking. So only nurses that were there, and they were only treating. Sorry, in Nigeria hospital. What are you doing here? I want to feature my video. So they're only treating those already admitted, and so just the nurses. Mommy walked around. When she was walking around, that she now found someone man that is a nurse there. Apparently, it's the husband of one of our customers that buys things for her. The man recognized. It was one that recognized that. That's how she pretended. When I said, the wife talked that she bought the wife is to buy. It's very nice. That's how mommy. She said, "What's mommy doing?" Mommy explained. That's how it took us to one doctor. She that came to work. Mommy now begged the doctor. Mommy she had tipped the doctor. She get doctor and said she come. She went to see doctor and I said, okay, here everything. I said I have to do a test. So they want to ascertain the level and everything. She had to be sure it is actually TB. So what I was supposed to do is to cough out my scrotum, because at that time I was already, now when I cough, scrotum, yes, the scrotum comes out of my mouth, like kata comes out of my mouth. So they now said I should do. So I cough it into it. But they now took it to the. So also, they are going to, before you even take the scrotum, they also always feel like it might be HIV/AIDS. That's another sign. So when I left doctor, I was supposed to go and do an HIV test. That would be the first time in my entire life that I'll do HIV test. So after the HIV test, it was when I'll go and drop my scrotum. So they have to be sure that it's not HIV. Because at the HIV test, that's when I knew that there is instant. So that year, I knew there can be instant results for HIV. So we sat down. The man was not telling my mom that she not work. And doctor had told us that most, maybe it's not correct, but he said 90% of people that have TB always also have HIV. That sometimes always because of the HIV that makes them prone to, you get it the other way around, like because HIV patients that don't know already, they are prone to any kind of disease if they are not taking antiretroviral drugs. So it's possible that you have HIV. That's why you are able to pick the TB if it's not already in your history. So that might be the case. So they have to be sure you don't have HIV so that they are not treating. Do you understand? So even if they treat the TB, if you have HIV, it might still come up again or other disease. So they are checked. I was very scared when the man has said that kind of thing. I said nobody has in my family. But yeah, true. The man not prick me. When Jesus came out, say, we're just looking. I could not know what to happen. What sign is called? The man just called mom and said, congratulations. Mom was happy. She said, mom, well, that I'm one of the very few that are not HIV positive when it comes to FTB. Moshe Adupe. I'm to bother on from any age 18 going to 19. Maybe I'll laugh. So we moved to the place. We did the job is close. They said they will send you. So by the time they sent you, I had TB. But I think I was in the first stage of it. I don't know what it is called because I intentionally forgot all these details. It's not something I want to remember. So came back from the second appointment. I said I'll be collecting drugs. However, the way the drug works is I'm going to use it for, I think it was for how many months? I started using it in July. Okay, 6 months. Yes, I'm going to use it for 6 months. So I started using that drug July 15. I finished exactly December. But the way they count their own months is 28 days, like 7 weeks, 7 days in a week, 7 days in a week. So 28 days times 6. So apparently I finished exactly December 31st that year, I remember. So they said they would give me the drugs, and the way the drug works, you have to use it 40 minutes before you eat breakfast. So you have to use the drug, and you must, that means you can't miss breakfast because you have to eat on it. And it's strong antibiotic. I have to take the strong one. So then I said, because of I can't be coming all the way to Milan, they will send me to a place close to my house. And I sent me to the one that's close to my mom's shop, which was in Moshin General Hospital. So when you're even going to collect your drug, there's a place called Dots, something of Isha for tuberculosis. When you are going there, you tie your nose. Everybody doesn't know you have tuberculosis. If my mom was like, no, I should not be going, I'm still too small for that kind of thing, I should go and collecting the job. I was like, that embarrassment will be too much for you. I felt very, because there's stigmatization for people that have TB. As of then, maybe things have changed now. So you're entering the hospital, there's a segment, so people already know you're going to. So now people looking at me, so I felt I could still deal with it, that my mommy going. So I always go to collect my drugs. So, but the woman, not okay. So not. I started collecting my drugs. So the woman was nice. She also knew my mom. The woman in the department, the chief matron, knew my mom. So normally they're not supposed to give you more than drugs for worst case scenario 1 month. That's the number of drugs they give you, 28 pieces. They won't, no, it's 3 we use per time. So 3 times 20. They can't give you supply more than 1 month, worst case scenario. So because she knew my mom, she treated me well. So not so long, I started using the drug. They said I should not share spoons, share anything. Imagine, before we knew, I've been sharing things with people, but God kept on my parents and everybody. Nobody had it for me. I couldn't share things. So they said with time, when they keep testing me, they will know if it has gone. But I just need to use the drug for 6 months. And they also told me that you can't miss the drug for one day. Once you miss the drug, whatever, is it the virus or is it a virus or a bacteria, whatever it is called, I think it's a virus, I don't even know, become resistant to the drug. And once it's resistant to the drug, the drug will not work again. Now you have to take injection for 18 months every day. After that injection, you take it for 18 months, you now start the drug again. That's the way to build your, see, it's something you don't want to go through. So the fear of I don't want to miss my drug or not say anything was in me. So I started using the drug and all of those stuff. I did my test. I think after a month they said it's already clearing now. If I can share things and all, but I was still very careful not share things. But the good thing is, because they noticed on time I was infested, I was not yet coughing out blood. I just cough, but I don't cough out blood. So August they called us to resume back to school, and I had to go to school. Now they could have transferred me to maybe OATAC, so of course my drug, but they were scared of stigmatization. They were feeling like, if they know in school, what if people start stigmatizing me and they tell themselves that this girl has TB and all those, that no, they won't do that. So my matron agreed to give me supplies, that like 3 months supplies, so that it would be enough for me. I don't have to be traveling back. And apparently I didn't have any tests to do until the next time I was on break. So she gave me drugs. So the only person that I knew was my now husband. Then it was my friend. He was just a friend to me. My now husband, and then my friend then in my department, Angela. Yes, she knew because she was we're in the same department, and she most times, that's why when I was in class, people just see me coming late to class. They would just look at me and I'm very unserious. But that's not the reason. It's because I have to use the drug and eat 40 minutes after. So I can't rush for early class. So somebody has to keep seats for me. I can only try to meet up before the 8 o'clock class. Maybe I get into class 10 minutes to 8 or something. I'll be there before the class. But I can't come earlier to rush for seats. They'll have kept seats from. So then people see me as being unserious, but they didn't know what I was dealing with. Just her. And she was very supportive and my friend. So that's I use drug. When Satan will now want to show his face was September that year. You know, I told you that I was supposed to be for 6 months, which was supposed to end December, September. So one day, it was a Saturday. Sorry that I already said that this video was going to be long. It was a Saturday, and I come back from church. Then I slept. I was supposed to have administration with my friend Daniel on Sunday morning. That's I woke up on Sunday. I was feeling feverish, like very feverish. I know I have to use drug, so I used my drug. As I used it, I vomited straight. Hey, I wasn't sure if I should use it again. Like, will it not be too much? Do I need to be content of it? I was just scared, so I didn't have a choice. They took me to a center. So when the doctor saw me, I had to open up to him. Although the doctor was telling me, I had to open up to him. This was happening. The doctor was like, So the doctor now told them to give me injection for malaria and also gave me injection to stop vomiting. So that's when I was not able to use the drug. The doctor now advised that the sickness was not going, and they were scared of giving me other drugs and all of those stuff. They had to take me to Lagos. My auntie had to come and pick me that day from the hospital without packing anything. She took me to Lagos that day. She came to Lagos. They took me to the hospital where I was being treated, but there was no space in that general hospital. My mom didn't want me to stay. My mom took me to my family hospital. That's where I was. Funny enough, I had tests that weekend, chemistry and physics tests. They were the same day. I missed the test too. I could not write the test because I was admitted in the hospital. And when they did test and everything for me in the hospital, I spent a lot. My parents spent a lot. They didn't see anything. But I was not alright. Like I did. Do you know the amount my parents spent on tests, different tests? They didn't see anything. Even the tuberculosis, they said it was already clearing, but they could not explain the source of my sickness. At a point when I stayed at home for a while, I was already missing classes and a lot of things. I already missed 2 major tests for a part 1 first semester student. I think I've done a video before about my how I had carry over in school and what was the course. I'll also put the link in this video so you can go and watch it. So sure, I had to go back to school with how I was. Mommy had to follow me back, and she was staying in her auntie's place. Sometimes she'd come to the hostel to stay with me and all of those stuff like that. My roommates were helping. I could not tell them what was wrong with me. They just knew that I was not fine, that kind of thing. So with time, I was praying to God that God heal me. One day I just noticed that I was fine. I can't explain how it happened. It was not that I was using any drug. I was just fine back, and that's how that one went like that in part 1. That's first stage. Next time again I was in part 2. All of a sudden, I can't remember how that sickness just started. Same pattern. I was sick. They had to rush me. Health center could not cope. They had to rush me home. My family hospital, they would do tests, even tests outside our hospital. They would go and use other doctors. They would not say anything. I'll come back to school sick. This one, I think what's even, mommy had to discharge me from the hospital. What happened? That we had what's the name of this course? CSC. That's JavaScript. Java. It was this programming course that we had out. They said we had a test in SD, and it was all that was what we were going to use to score. Mommy had to discharge me from the hospital. That they take me to the I just had to just make my, because I was looking like a mess. And we entered Ife that time. It was during the time when the former Oni of Ife died, that they were doing Oro. We got to Ife very late in the night. It's just God that kept us, that did not carry us for and used for ritual and all of those stuff, because that's when they said people should not go outside. Mommy risked her life. The next day she followed me to school. I went to for those that went to AU, went to tech buildings together. You know, I sit in tech building in front of pharmacy. Then my now husband, which was my friend then, so he came from his faculty of pharmacy. But then I was already in 200 level, I was in 200 level. So he came, and he came to see my mommy and all of those stuff. I should wrote the exam back on back. I didn't know I did this, but God, funny thing is that I passed. That one too. How I got healed, I cannot explain. I just know that one day when because one thing is that I loved God and I always pray, I just got healed. See, but one thing I failed to mention is that when the part 1 won't happen, when the part 2 won't happen, because I was sick and they kept saying that there was nothing wrong with me and I was a bother to everybody, suicidal thoughts came. The one when I was in the hospital in part 1, when suicidal thoughts came, it was like I should remove the needle that was inside my drip and choke myself. Do you understand? When but I didn't try it. But the part 2 one, I entered the toilet. I wanted to drink ice. I think on my cousin, the one I said I did a video with on things I wish I knew if I got married. She came in on time to say, you know, that I would have killed myself, because I felt I was a burden to everybody. Everybody's life had to go on pause because of me. My siblings, everybody was not happy, because let them even say this is the sickness so that they can know that this is what they are choosing. Okay, if it's even curable, let them know. But there was nothing. They will do all the tests, spend hundreds of thousands to say there's nothing. Part 2. My part 3, nothing. My part 4, nothing. Next time was now my part 5. Final year, first semester. It wasn't funny. It was so bad. Sorry. So sorry. It was so bad that it was even my friend. It was Bukola. We were in the same department then. Many people were there for me. I remember Femi Comfort, my roommates, Tosi and Tolani. Everybody was there. They had to take me to. I remember that day was the year I was supposed to clock 23 years old. It was 2018. A day before my birthday, 20th of July. And that year I was supposed to launch my website. I used to have a website, a blog called Arane, where I used to write stories. Then it's just recently I closed it down when I felt like the need was not. It had done what it was meant to do, and I needed to move to YouTube. That's when I closed it. I used to have a blog that was doing really well on campus and all of those stuff, and people read stories on it. So it was meant to launch officially on my birthday, my 23rd birthday, and I was very sick on the 20th. This was that 20th. They rushed me to the hospital. As I was getting to Lagos, they took me straight to the hospital. Admitted. I was there. My 23rd birthday was in the hospital that day. I remember not talking to anybody. I didn't want to talk to anybody. The doctor that came was saying, "Mom was saying it's my birthday, happy birthday." I didn't talk to anybody that day. After I came to visit me, I remember my friend Ife. She had graduated then because she did a 4-year because I was still in part-time. She came to visit me. My aunt, sister, everybody came. I did not talk to anybody. Even my mom. The only time I talked to, when I wanted to ease myself, and even when they carried my fail, That was the only time I didn't talk to anybody throughout that birthday. It was my worst birthday. And the funny thing is that my mommy's birthday is 22nd of July. So she was going to clock 50 that year. Mommy was sleeping with me in the hospital. It was on the floor where she was sleeping there the next month that she clocked at 50. But she just wanted me to be fine. Like that woman, she used to tell me that I've seen a lot for my age. I've seen too much in this life. That one too, they had to discharge me from the hospital, and her birthday was going to be, the real celebration was going to be the next Sunday. I was here in Lagos with my cousin of blessed memory, Auntie Bumi. She took care of me there. She was one day for me in the hospital cooking for me. It was so painful that rest in peace, Auntie Bumi. Like, she was there for me. She took care of me. I was in her house. We'll be there. She'll cook for me before she goes to the office. She will tell me to encourage me. The Lord, pray for me. I know wherever she is, she's fine. She'll pray for me and all of those stuff. Then on my mommy's birthday, all the things I had planned, I'll do this, I'll do that. I was just looking like I was so lean, and that's what is always happening. The highlight of those times, I'll be so lean. People know something's wrong with me. I was so lean, and then my mommy's birthday, but I tried my best to just be fine for her because she was not fine. That morning she cried. She was not happy. That woman has really gone through, and I know that God will bless me to be able to take care of her and my father. Those two people, they've been through a lot for me. It got to a point that even after her birthday, I was still at home. People were in school. Final year, people were doing their projects. I could not do anything. I was at home. Nothing. It got to a point I told my friend that I was not going back to school, that I didn't want to go back to school, that I can't go back. I don't think I can cope. Part 5 first semester. Something I started since 2012. That was 2018. I was going to graduate 2019. I was saying I'm no more going back to that. I'm done. That I don't want to do everything. I could not understand anything. Nothing was good. But they encouraged me. My parents encouraged me. But even with everything, I was very suicidal, very, very suicidal. But I talked about it this time around. I was suicidal. Even when I go back to school, my sister then was not in OA. She was in party. They had to tell her to be staying with me in my hostel, and they packed drug away from my side. I went to station to tell her, take this drug away, because all I was coming to my head was kill yourself, kill yourself, kill yourself, kill yourself, and all of those stuff. And I attempted to kill myself, but God was just there bringing people my way. That anytime I want to do it, like maybe pack drugs, and my sister can just come and take the drug away and all of those stuff like that. But somehow, like I told you, I started praying. I got my strength back to pray, and all of a sudden I was healed. I can't even explain when or how. I know it's God that did it. Like that, and I graduated. I thought that was it. Until I went for NYC in 2019 July, and I came back. I went for NYC in 2019 August. I came back in September. And I fell sick. I was sick from September to December 2019. For real, I didn't enjoy my NYC when it started. It was bad. Like, it's more like when I kept feeling that maybe I wasn't useful to the world. Like, why would I only me be sick? What did I do wrong? Did it have to be back to back? Was it only me? I started asking questions. I started feeling bad at God. What was I not doing right? And those times, the times you just see me, I'm not interested in anything. All the things I love to do, I can't do them. It was more like everything was just see, it was bad. Same thing, they won't say anything. Same thing, same old. And at the end of the day, I kept praying, and I just saw that I was healed again. I really will not be able to. I'll be admitted. There are times even it went like that. 2020 COVID year, when I started enjoying my NYC was when COVID happened. So I didn't really enjoy my NYC year. That one went like that. And then I was living my life. 2019 nothing happened, I was glad. 2020 nothing happened, I was glad. 2021 last year was the peak of it. That was when me and my then boyfriend, that don't fiancé, Stephen, were together, and it was really looking like we we're going to end up together. But the things that came to me, that you won't marry, what can you marry? Can you come? You will die, as in all those kind of things. And as I fell sick in January of 2021, this one was mad. I was sick from January till like May of 2021. I was admitted twice. First, the hospital of my HMO. Then I was always in and out of the hospital. In the office, they already know me as a sickler. And I'm not AS, I'm not SS, I am AA. I was in and out of, and they will not say in and out of this. I'm always taking excuse at work. You see me one day in a week, the next week you see me 2 days, or you don't see me after. It was bad. I almost even lost my relationship because I wasn't even speaking to anybody. I was keeping to myself. I felt I was useless. How many times I was the only one? But one thing God told me in 2020, and I'm glad he told me that before this last encounter, was that the devil cannot touch you. Only 2 people can take your life, you or me, when I think you are ready to come home. And you, That's why it's frustrating you to commit suicide. When you see people that commit suicide, the devil can't take have hold of you. It can only frustrate you, bring you into situations and circumstances that will push you and make you feel like you are not useful. It likes to, to aggravate. It likes to enlarge your problems such that you feel like they are you can't surmount it. It's unsurmountable, which is a lie. It's not insurmountable. Your problems are not insurmountable. It makes the problem so big. It makes all the things you can't do so big, and the things you are doing well, it will now make it so minute. All I could see were the things I couldn't do. They were so big. I forgot the fact that I was impacting lives, the fact that there are people that look up to me, the fact that I've done every good thing I was doing in my life. I forgot them. So it took my parents, Stephen, and everybody to start telling me that this is who you are, because I didn't know all I saw was who I was not and who I could never be. He enlarged all the things I wasn't and told me how I'm a all I could hear. And that's what happens when people are suicidal. All they see is what they can do. It looks so insurmountable. They look like nothing. When that question that was asked, like, can anything come out of Nazareth? That is how it was, like nothing can come out of it. Like, was that, I don't know how to explain because I don't pray it for anybody. That last year one was the peak of it. I remembered March 23rd, 2021 was the day this one was the worst one. I was in my room. My mommy, I didn't go to office because the sickness was really that bad, and I thought in my mind that instead of stressing everybody's life, my dad could not go to concentrate in the office. Mommy could not go to a shop again. She loves to tell I just told myself that I was going to kill myself. That was the high last year. And then there was the paracetamol mommy drug for me to use, new one, and I had this hand sanitizer, H2 hand sanitizer. Is it H2? Too sure hand sanitizer beside me, that liquid one that looks like water. So my plan was that I would take the whole one sachet of paracetamol and use the hand sanitizer, the too sure, to step it down. So I'd put all the paracetamol inside my mouth. As I was about to take it, that's the mommy opened the door, so I kept it. So she noticed I was squeezing my hand. Was my hand told her notice, and because she had been suspecting me that I've been doing something, she just opened my hand. When she saw it and collected, she just sat down on the floor and started crying. She was crying like someone that just lost a child. She was wailing. She just picked her phone, and my dad just left for the office and called my daddy that something has happened with Kiniko, and all of those stuff. And that's how we came back, as in, because I'd lost hope. Everything they were saying, do you want to kill us? I'd never hear anything. But that one is it. Here I am today. All I could see then was that nothing good can come. I can't get married. But what am I? I'm married. Exactly a year later, was 23rd of March, was my court wedding, and here I am married. Me that felt like nothing good can come out of my life. I can't get married. I would die because I'm always a sickler. Can a man see? That's why I say that if you are with your own man, he will stay with you. Right from when we started a relationship in 2017, German sickness has happened in between, and he stood by me. Yes, I'm sure that there are times you'll have thought of it that I'm happy that I was with my own man. So that's what I'm telling you, that see, no, anything can be happening right now, but God's got you. Confess positively. I went through my own times. Yes, it's easy to say that confess. These things happen, but see, God has your best at heart, and don't let the devil win the battle. Don't let that devil win the battle. I'm allowing myself to do this because God will have me do this to speak to someone. I don't know who it is, that see, you would overcome, you would win, you would succeed. My parents told me that on two occasions, I think my 2020 sickness of when I came out from NYC, and the one of last year, I passed out. That was gone. That one was November 2020. I'd passed out. They had to postpone in my mouth so that I will not close my teeth. And the other one, the same thing. They had to pop out. See, at two occasions, they thought that I was dead. Because to be honest, I was gone. It's just God that brought me back. God has given me another chance because He has a plan for me, and it's obvious. We all can see God has an assignment, and devil will not have you do it. And now, sorry about that, something for me. And now I understand why the devil has been disturbed. And I want to tell you that you have an assignment. The devil will try, but he cannot win you if you don't allow him. He can't touch you. He can't have you. Only if you give in to it. And one of the ways you can give in to him is sin. That's one of the things he can use against you. Please and please, guard the assignment that God has given to you. Flee away from sin. And if you are doing all this, but the devil is still in your way, you are not the first and you won't be the last. It is because the vision you carry is big. The devil will not disturb anybody that is not useful. It is those people that he knows that are terror and they are threats to him that will disturb. I hope you've learned something from this. It's already long. I didn't believe I was going to talk for this long. If you watch this far, I love you so much. Be encouraged. Be of good cheer. God loves you so, so, so much. And your vision is legit. Your goal is legit. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you share this video. You don't know who maybe need this. Share this video, subscribe, like. I love you so much. Thank you for always supporting me. And don't forget, birthday is Thursday. I can send my address. You want to send me money, I can send my answer. But that's only like time with. Please enjoy the rest of your week. I love you so, so much. And there's nothing you can do about it.